Hey, it is a beautiful day here. I actually got to come to Ohio this weekend to celebrate my dad's birthday and a Father's Day all in one weekend. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm definitely really burnt right now. We went on a pontoon yesterday and it was a blast. They rented some water skis, which I did not try, but we did also get one of those tubes, and my dad was like really trying to whip me around and fling me off, but I was one of the only ones that didn't fall off, so I was really, really proud of myself. It's definitely nice to reconnect with family and all of that stuff. My, I guess it would be my cousin. My uncle got married, and his wife has a daughter, and she has a graduation party tonight that I'll be going to, so I'll get to see the rest of my, well, majority of my extended family, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hi, Kyle, how are you? Hopefully you are having a wonderful day. I'm very excited to be here. Just wanted to jump on and say hi, so I probably won't stay very long, but yeah. It was really fun experience. We went to Indian Lake, which is like a 5,000 acre lake, and they have no horsepower limit, which is what I'm the one that actually, organized the trip. So I was drawn to that because my dad wanted to go really fast on a pontoon, and like I said, it was really, really fun. Hey, Scuba Maru, how's it going? Hi, Chris, how are you? Queen strong like bull. Something like that. Look at my face, it's all burnt. Wow. Anyways, hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Like I was saying, I kind of just wanted to jump on here and say hi. I don't really have anything in particular to talk about. I'm still kind of on my vacation right now for just a little bit longer. So yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good week. That's pretty much it, actually. I don't really, like I said, I didn't really come on here with anything else to say other than Happy Father's Day. It's really quite sad how the situation, the situation of the world, I guess, is what I'm like, where parenthood in general isn't really promoted. Single families and just children growing up without their parents and all of that. It's really quite sad. Thankfully, I was raised with both of my mom and dad. They're still together, and I just kind of thought of my dad. My dad has started having grandbaby fever, okay? Like, he asked me when I was going to start having babies. I'm like, dude, I'm not even married right now. Like, I'm not ready to have, well, I am ready to have children in many ways, but in other ways, it's like this world is not safe for babies. So it's kind of cute that they're getting this grandbaby fever. But anyways, back to what I was saying. It's very sad how parenting in general really isn't encouraged. Basically as soon as baby is born, mom barely has any time off, and then she's back to work, and the state is raising the child, and the parents only see the kid for a few hours at night, and it's just an extremely detaching situation. I really think that it's important to children to have their mother and their father in the situation. Obviously, there are times when there are abusive situations where it's not healthy, but in general, especially during the golden age, I think it's important that we promote parenting and try to do whatever we can to encourage the bond between parents and their children, and allow for people to not have to work so that they can actually raise their children. I personally refuse to even consider the idea of sending my child away to any type of school, like public or charter or whatever. I'm going to be the one that's raising my child fully. Like, they're going to be very, very overprotective. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing because I've been around my family right now, and just kind of thinking about how it's going to be when I have my own children, because I am a really, really strict vegan and they're not. So it'll be very interesting. I'll have to keep my eyes on them at all times so they're not feeding my children things that they're not allowed to. So yeah, that's going to be a tough situation, but thankfully I'm not ready to cross that bridge. Kyle says, you're kissed by the sun. Yes, I was. I was actually trying to burn. Everyone on the boat besides me, well, not everyone, but almost everyone on the boat was putting on, lathering on their sunscreen. Noisy motorcycles. Lathering on their sunscreen and wearing glasses and stuff. And I don't wear sunscreen, and I haven't worn glasses for quite a few years. Sunglasses are really not good for your eyes. I don't know. I mean, I do know, obviously, I was going to say I don't know where this came from, but the inverts, the Satanists who invert things are, convincing people that sunlight is bad for you and that you need to wear sunscreen and sunglasses and all of this stuff, when the opposite is true. Like, the sunglasses are causing damage to you. The sunscreen that you put on is like chemical garbage, and you're just lathering yourself up and then basting in the sun. It's just a recipe for disaster. I fully believe that if you are consuming the right diet, if you are an alkaline diet, then you're going to be a lot less likely to burn, because, the more acidic you are in general, acid burns at the end of the day. So it's like you're going to be more likely to burn when your body, your body balance is off, so to speak. Hey, Bobby, how are you going? How are you going? I was trying to read this and you said... Sorry about that. But anyways, my good friend Laz is in sunblock and gets burnt worse than I do. Wow. I never use it. Wow. That's crazy that they get burnt worse than you do, but it's not really surprising. I tend to think that when they say, something does something, it a lot of times does the opposite. And yeah, we live in an inverted world, so it's hard to tell. Hi, Lacecart. How's it going? Are you watching Candidates Tournament? I am not watching Candidates Tournament. I am on vacation right now, and honestly, I'm really not into any type of hero worship or idols or anything. I don't really look up to any of the chess grandmasters, or... I was going to say I don't really respect them either. Pretty much everybody in this world, at the top, is inverted, and I just don't really care to watch two inverts playing sports together or playing anything. It's just it's like Satan has one puppet on this hand and one puppet on that hand, and he's playing against himself. It's just I would rather watch real humans playing, right? I went to this tournament in Reno, and there were these two guys that were playing Blitz, and oh my gosh, it was I still have a smile on my face because it was just so awesome to just see it. They were going so fast. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. So that is definitely more my style, to watch this. And the whole community around that chess experience was really awesome too, because they were all just hanging out in this banquet hall after, and discussing their games and playing Blitz and all of this fun stuff. So that was a really, really fun experience. Let me see. Kyle says, sunlight prevents breast cancer. Yeah, the sun is so good for us. It's crazy how they have convinced us otherwise. Kyle says, my dad was hardly ever around. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's tragic. Our family dynamic has been destroyed in America. Yep. Especially at every turn, we're facing different corruption agendas and agendas to make us the worst versions of ourselves possible. So, from the beginning, it's little girls are programmed with this Disney princess, Prince Charming type, fairy tale nonsense. And then we see on TV these really soft and sensitive guys. And then we go into the world and find that the boys have been programmed from very early on into pornography and all of this really disgusting stuff. And so it's it causes this disconnect at a fundamental level on purpose to try to turn us against each other, so that ultimately, we'll go with our own type and stop the human, the human species from continuing on. Obviously, it's never going to get that far. Not all of us would ever cross over. I got baby fever for days. So there's really no, you can't have a baby with another girl. So, yeah, not naturally at least. And I'm definitely not trying to go to do anything unnatural. As far as a child being consumed? Oh, conceived. That was really weird. Not into consuming children either. That's really weird. Conceived, having, you know, this relationship of love where you have a connection on not just a physical level, but on a soul, on a mental, on an emotional level. Like, that is what I want. And I want to have that kind of bond, you know, grow and blossom into the relationship where we can have that coming together in the heat of the moment and create a baby under those, you know, in love, in true love, really. And obviously, true love is very hard to find in this world when we are being programmed to be the worst versions of ourselves possible. The solution is not to go to our own gender, our own sex, whatever you want to say. The solution is to find, you know, someone of the opposite sex that is on the same path as you, that wants to become the best version of themselves possible, so that you can grow together and become better, purify together, rather than going the complete opposite way and becoming more corrupt by going with somebody of the opposite or of the same sex. So yeah. It's really interesting to see all of these different agendas that are programming us in all of these different ways. Definitely important to take those into consideration when we try to judge the human species. It can become really easy to be anti-human, especially when you go vegan and you see all of these humans that, like, basically respond with the word bacon to posts of animals being abused. Is like, wow, where's your compassion? Where's your empathy? And furthermore, where's your brain? Like, that was the most creative thing that you could come up with, was saying the word bacon. Honestly, that's your justification. That's an influence of the bacon demon right there, I'll tell you. All right, let's see what's going on in the live chat. Hey, Altair, how's it going? You are sweet. Thank you. Anyways, I appreciate you guys jumping on here today and joining me. Just had someone on Facebook try to say that I have a fake profile. I'm like, dude, I literally go live every Sunday. So for you to say that I'm fake is just projection, especially since you don't even have any profile pictures on your page. Like, they say, oh, well, if you want to prove that you're real, FaceTime with me. I'm like, do I look like I was born yesterday? If I just bent over to every guy who says, oh, if you're real, then you have to FaceTime with me. It's like, that is a cute manipulation tactic to try to get the pretty girl to give you attention, but I'm not falling for it. If you want to see me real in real life, then come on my live chat and say hi. That's funny. Anyways, sensory pleasure over compassion is sad, says Kyle. Absolutely agree, buddy. Absolutely agree. Your 5 seconds of a cheeseburger to, you know, compared to that cow's life, it's just absolutely, it's so heartbreaking, really, when you think about it. And then to think about how children, like, naturally, most children naturally like animals, right? They didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, Mom, let's just go and start slicing animals' throats. Like, these behaviors are imposed on them and taught to them over time. And, you know, that compassion goes out the window. Sure, they have compassion for cats and dogs, but, you know, not any other animals. And that's really a societal problem, obviously, because if you go to other countries, they're eating dogs and cats. Like, they don't care. So it's all a matter of programming. And when we get down to it, you know, everybody deep inside knows that slicing a cow's throat for a cheeseburger is an immoral decision, and it will definitely have consequences. So, didn't really want to get on a vegan rant today, but hey, I don't mind. Can't really rant too much to my family, so not try to cause too many problems while also being the militant vegan and completely opposed to eating animals and any of that. I came from a Christian background, so the whole concept of God gave us animals to eat and that's what they're here for was definitely ingrained in me. But if you are coming from a biblical background, like if you read in Genesis, first of all, it says that the earth doesn't say the earth is flat in black and white text, but it does describe the enclosed realm that we live in, right? The firmament, it was created in the midst of these waters, separating them. You can kind of see this dome being created in the middle of the waters to create like a little an air bubble that we are, being able to breathe this air. And it says that the sun and moon were created on the fourth day. Not the sun was created first and then the earth is created as one of many planets zooming around, right? My point was that the Bible is very, very clear that we do not live on a giant spinning ball. And it says in Genesis 1:29 that we are supposed to eat raw herb and fruit-bearing seed. So God did not give us animals to eat. Like in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were not killing animals, or else it would not have been a paradise. It would have been more like what we have now today. So, anyways, most of you already know that I don't follow the Bible anymore, but I do come from that background, and, getting away from all of the programming is definitely hard. I won't ever give up this concept of the Christ and this teacher that came to show us the way. That's very thoroughly ingrained in me, and I won't ever be able to get away from that. But I definitely have gotten away from the teachings of Christ that I grew up learning about, which were actually mainly Paul's teachings. Paul to the Essenes was called Paul the Liar, the first corrupter of the doctrines of Christ. And basically Paul comes along and says that the weak in faith eat only vegetables, knowing full well that the Christ and his actual disciples were vegan. It blows my mind that anybody could call the Christ weak in faith, but they're ignorant. So the people that are doing it nowadays are ignorant, and they think that the Christ ate fish and all of this stuff. So, Jesus ate fish, so I'm going to do it too. Like, you really think that he did? I personally don't. I personally believe that he was in a scene that they valued, purity and righteousness, and they abstained from killing. Like, they were very passionate against this. They didn't believe in any sort of blood sacrifice for forgiveness of sins or any of that. So that's where my soul aligns with. I can't align with these teachings of God requiring innocent bloodshed because of sins. Like, what I fully believe that God wants is for us to repent and do what we can to make up for it. Like, if I do something wrong to you and I can fix it in some manner, then that's what we're supposed to do, and not I did you wrong, so now I got to go and sacrifice 2 sheep and a chicken. Like, that's ridiculous. You're just racking up more bad karma. You did one bad thing, and now you're going out and doing 2 more bad things on top of it. So, yeah. Anyways, my point was that I haven't been able to fully get away from all of the programming, and I'm admitting that I'm not ever going to be able to I can't get rid of the Christ programming in all of that. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that is, having a spiritual leader, especially as like one of my only heroes. I don't hero worship or idolize literally anybody, but when it comes to like the Christ or King David, like those are the ones that I still have idolized, and I believe that there's been a lot of nonsense written against them to demonize them specifically because they were purifiers, because they came here to, like, David in the Bible was called a man after God's own heart. Like, that is something that if someone would write that about you, like, that's a compliment. So yeah. X says, ingrained, is it like a curse? I don't really see it as a curse because my soul aligns with it. It is something that I don't think that even necessarily programming, like, us being programmed, it depends on the programming, right? If you're programmed to do something good, then that's not bad. But if you're programmed to do something bad, then that is bad, right? Kind of like a computer. Like, our mind does kind of work like that, and we can program our minds, reprogram our minds, and all of this stuff. And I think that that's just kind of like a fact of life, is that we can be programmed, and that we should use that those mechanisms to program humans to be good and not to exploit humans and turn them into clowns and all of this nonsense that we see going on today, right? The mechanisms of the programming is being exploited and used for evil to turn us into clowns so that we can be laughed at. I don't know about you, but I do not appreciate being laughed at or being turned into a clown, and that is what our enemy wants from us, to turn us into clowns and, make fun of us. And then they go to the creator and say, haha, look at your creation. Humans are so stupid, they're eating Tide Pods, they don't know what sex they are, they think they live on a giant spinning ball and they're evolved pond scum. They spit in the creator's face, they say he's not real, they're chanting about their aborted babies and how proud they are of it. It's just like every single thing that can be done to make humans look the absolute worst ever is being done. And during the golden age, we definitely need to change that. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to ingrain or program my children from birth to be how I want them to be. Like, I already have little vegan baby books saved in I have a ton, like, I got baby fever, okay? So I already have all these things lined up, and they will be programmed from the beginning to see veganism as the only moral option. So that's going to be ingrained in them from the beginning, and any guy that has a problem with that can step out of line, because I'm not compromising on anything when it comes to my children. It is so important to me that my future children are trained and raised the way that I see fit. So anyone that comes along is going to have to, align with the path that I am on before they even can get a chance here. So anyways, I am actually going to head off of here because we are going to go to a graduation party soon. But I will definitely be on next Sunday back in Mount Shasta. So hopefully you will keep up with me on Facebook. I have my personal page, Inanna Snow, and I also have a page that goes with this YouTube channel, which is Queen Inanna Snow, and I post on there as well. So definitely hit me up on Facebook, and I will catch up with you on Sunday. Have a wonderful week. May God and the Goddess bless you.